Hello everyone. So today we are going to study packages. Before that we already have covered few topics in Java like the if-else conditions, the loops like for loop, while loop, do while loop and nested loops, and also some basic topics that were covered in the very beginning of this playlist, which were data types, keywords and identifiers. So what are packages basically? Now if you see here, as of now this is the folder structure that I have in my project. Okay, and in the src is basically nothing but a default package, we can say. Okay, src is known as the default package, and here you can see all the classes, right? I will never have any classes outside src, because if I try then it won't work in the project. So all the classes and anything that is to be run in the application, or we can say in the project, that will always be inside the src, right? So now here you can see that all the files are commonly here. Now let's say I wanted to collect them in such a way that similar classes will stay in one folder and the other ones will remain in another folder. So that kind of folder structure, if I say I want to create in Java project, then we will create like this. So I will right click here in the src, I'll click on new, and then I'll click on package. So package is nothing but a folder, okay, that collects the similar type of classes. All right, so let's say I give a name control statements, and always remember, whenever you are going to name the package, you will always have them in small case. For example, for classes you had title case, but for packages you will have always small case. So I'll create two packages here. So one was control statements, the other one will be operators. Now here, as of now, if you see, the line 1 in any class would always be starting with the public class and class name, right? As of now, you can say, or if I have put any comments also, then that will be like this. But once I move them inside their package, let's say I have these three control statement files, classes, so I will move them into the package control statements, and now they are inside the folder, or we can say package. Here if you see, I have created the two packages or two folders. Inside control statements I have this three files. Inside operators I don't have any file as of now. Okay, now what has changed? Earlier in line 1 we only had the class name. Now before that, in line 1 we have a package declaration. This is known as package declaration. So how to do that? We will use package keyword space and then package name. Okay, package name and then semicolon. So this is how we do the package declaration. This defines to the JVM, or we can say to the compiler, that this class is not in the default package src, but rather it is in a different package. Okay, so this is how package declaration works in a class, and it will always be on line 1. Okay, whatever the comments, whatever the imports, whatever the class definitions, everything goes after package declaration. Okay, but you might ask, like, why didn't we have for src any package declaration? For example, like package src, why didn't we do like that? Well, to answer that, src is a default package. We never have to declare it explicitly. Okay, but if there is any other package inside src, then we have to explicitly declare it. All right, so that's how it works. Okay, so now I will move this also inside operators. Now you can see inside operators we have two classes, and here package declaration comes at the top. After that the comments are coming, and then we have our class definition. All right, here also you can see that it has changed. Operator demo part 1 and part 2 both are in operators package now. So this is how the package declaration and packages work to collect similar type of files in a single folder or single package. All right, now there is one more thing I want to display to you. For example, there are two packages. One is pack 1, the other one is pack 2. Okay, and pack 1 has a class, and this class is, for example, calculate. All right, so this class has a class name calculate, and we have another class in pack 2 which is calculator. Okay, and this class contains the main method. The calculator class contains the main method, whereas the calculate class, it contains the other calculation methods. For example, public int add int a int b, return a plus b. Similarly, let's say multiply and multiply. Then I have subtract and a minus b. Okay, so these are the three methods I have in calculate. I am just taking an example here. Now I want to use this calculate inside calculator. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now, so for that, calculate, and this is inside the pack 1 package. Okay, so as soon as I try to use it, it will import the class. And how does it import? So it uses import, just like we had for package declaration, we had a keyword package. For importing the class in different package, we will use import keyword, and then package name, or we can say package path, and then calculate. Okay, so this is how it works. Now let's say if we had another package inside the pack 1, let's say p1. Okay, and this calculate was inside the p1, not in package but inside the p1. So in that case, what would happen? So in that case, if I have to import, it will import like this, pack1.p1 and then calculate. So this always takes the complete path starting from after the src. So after src we have pack1 and then dot p1 and then calculate. So this means that we have pack1 folder, inside that we have p1 folder, and then inside that we have calculate. Let's check here also. We have pack1 folder, inside that we have p1 folder, and inside that we have calculate. So this is how we will import the package, the class inside a different package. All right, so for now I don't need this p1. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'll just move this calculate from here inside here, and I'll delete this. Okay, now you can see we have pack1 and then calculate. Oh, so now it's going to work properly, but now it's correct. So I say calculate equals new calculate, and variable of type int, and then I'll say calculate dot add. I'll pass 6,7. Okay, similarly I'll have int application to calculate dot multiply 5,2 and subtraction is equals calculate dot subtract 9,3. Okay, now let's print the results of addition and multiplication and subtraction. Okay, and I'll run this calculator file. You will see 6 plus 7 is 13. Okay, that we have printed here. Then we have 5 multiplied by 2 is 10, stored in this variable and printed here, it's 10. Then 9 minus 3 is 6, stored here and printed here, so it's 6. Okay, so now you might ask, like, okay, so we used calculate class from pack1 package and we imported it and used it here, but what this is exactly, and why we are keeping the methods here and then calling them here? how is it going exactly. So basically, to understand this, this is a class calculate, okay, inside a package pack1, and it has these methods, okay, and this method is having different signatures and different names. For example, in a signature we have add is the method name. We have two formal arguments that will take the values from wherever they are being called. For example, it is being called here, and it takes the argument 6 and 7 and assign it to A and B respectively. So 6 will be assigned to A and B will be having the value 7. Now what it returns A plus B, that means 6 plus 7. So an integer value, integer type value will be returned. So this is known as the data type. This is known as the access modifier. This is the return type. This is the method name. These are the arguments, and always the arguments are defined like this, having a data type and the variable name, and there can be multiple arguments separated by a comma. Okay, even we need more arguments, we will have int comma int c. Okay, but then we need to when we are calling, we need to pass 3 arguments. So always the count of actual argument and formal argument will be matching. Okay, so this like, so we have 3 arguments here, we have always 3 arguments here, but if we have 2 arguments here, then we must have only 2 arguments passed here. Okay, so these are the formal arguments of method that during definition, and when we are calling it, we call them the actual arguments, because 6 and 7 are the actual values, not the formal values. Okay, so to utilize these methods in another class, we need to create an object of the class. Okay, we will understand what are classes and objects in detail during OOPS concept in the next chapters, but for now just understand that this is how we create the object using the new keyword and constructor. This is the constructor. We will have more detail about it in later lessons, but this is the constructor, and using new keywords we create an object. That object is having a memory allocated to it in the RAM, and this calculate is a variable, reference variable, that refers to the memory allocated to the calculate object. Okay, and using that memory, or we can say using this reference variable, we can call the methods of this class. Okay, and pass the required arguments to get the results. And since it was returning integer return type value, int and int, so we can store those return values into an integer variable here and print them or use them wherever we need. Okay, so this was all about the packages and how the objects and method calling works. Okay, we will have more details in later chapters, how the object works, how constructor work, how new keywords work, and how the method calling works in detail, okay, during OOPS concepts. But this is all about packages in today's session. Let me know if you liked the video. If you had any queries, please comment on the below comment section, and I'll try to answer as many as possible and as soon as possible. And please like, subscribe and share to my channel. Thank you everyone.